Hello everyone, I welcome you all to the online video lecture on course Turbo Machines. So this is my YouTube channel named as Thermal Engineering by Manoj Shendil. This is my YouTube channel. So I'll cover almost all thermal related subjects like thermodynamics, heat transfer, turbo machines, fluid mechanics, etc. So today we'll start the turbo machines, that is model number 2. So in the previous video lectures, we have completed the model number 1 in all respects, that is introduction to turbo machines with all the numericals. So today we'll solve some numericals on the model number 2, which is entitled as energy exchange in turbo machines. Okay, so this was asked numerical, the first numerical, which is asked in the year June 2011 and 2012 for 10 marks. Okay, so these numericals are very important from your examination point of view. This course is particularly designed for the VTU students, 5th semester mechanical engineering. Okay, so kindly watch this video till end, like, share, and subscribe my channel. Okay, let's start the first numerical, that is on uh, the turbines, okay, turbo machines. In an axial flow machine, turbine, in bracket has given the turbine, the type of turbo machine is axial flow turbine. The discharge blade angles are 20 degrees each for both stator and rotor. The steam speed at the exit of fixed blade is 140 meter per second. The ratio Vf by U is equals to 0.7 at the entry and 0.76 at the exit of rotor. Find the inlet blade angle, power developed by the blade ring for a mass flow rate of 2.6 kgs per second and the degree of reaction. So this was asked in the year June 2011 and 2012. Such numericals are very important from your examination point of view. So after reading the question carefully, let us try to write down the given data systematically. Okay, the first, he has given the type of the turbine as axial flow machine. The type of the turbine is axial flow turbo machine. Axial flow turbine. Remember, in case of axial flow turbine, always U1 is equals to U2. U1 is equals to U2. So U stands for the tangential speed of the rotor or tangential speed of the ring or rotor blades. So which is represented by U, and ultimately we can get U equals to pi dn by 60, where d is the diameter of the rotor, n is the speed in RPM. Okay, so if you know the diameter and speed in RPM, so you can get the velocity or the tangential blade speed, that is U in terms of meters per seconds. Okay, right. So for an axial flow machine, the tangential speed remains constant both at the inlet as well as exit. So that's why we can take U1 equals to U2. This is for axial flow machines. Okay. The discharge blade angles are 20 degrees each for both stator and rotor. This is very important. This is very important. So the discharge blade angles are 20 degree each for both stator as well as rotor. Now in turbines, we have set of moving blades and the set of fixed blades. Okay, let us assume it as the nozzle. In the first row, we have the nozzle, and in the second row, we have the moving blades. These are the moving blades. Okay, so this is the fixed blade, which is also known as stator or nozzle, and the second one is set of moving blades. Okay, let me write it as fixed blade FB. FB stands for fixed blade. Next row is moving blade. So these two rows together constitutes a stage. These two rows together constitutes one stage. Okay. Now what he has given, the discharge blade angles for starter. Okay. So in place of a nozzle, we can also take the starter. Starter one, the fixed blades. Starter one is fixed blades, and the rotor are the moving blades. Okay. Discharge angle is The discharge angle is, so when the steam is leaving the first set of fixed plate, I repeat, when the steam is leaving the first set of fixed plates with the velocity v1, v1 stands for absolute velocity of the fluid which is coming out from the fixed plate, or it is the velocity of the fluid. The fluid may be water, the fluid may be steam, whatever it may be. It depends on the type of turbines used. Okay. V1 is also nothing but velocity, absolute velocity of the fluid which is entering into the first set of moving blades. V1 is the exit velocity from the fixed blade, or it is the velocity at the entry of moving blades. So that is V1. Now remember, always V1 makes an angle alpha 1 with respect to horizontal. V1 makes an angle alpha 1 with respect to horizontal. So, discharge blade angles. So, V1 is the discharge velocity from the nozzle or the set of fixed plates. So, we can take alpha 1, discharge blade angle for stator. Discharge blade angle, for stator. For stator, it is given by alpha 1, it is equals to 20 degrees. This is a discharge blade angle. Okay. So remember, the symbols are very important. So read the problem carefully and try to produce the symbol accordingly. Okay. Now this 20 degree is the same for both stator as well as rotor. Stator as well as rotor. Remember guys, this is the rotor. This is the rotating blade. This is the inlet angle for the rotor and this is the outlet angle for the rotor. So for rotor, the angle is represented by beta. I repeat, for the rotor or the moving blades, the angle is represented by beta. So at the inlet, beta 1, at the exit, beta 2. Okay, this is beta 1 at the inlet and this is beta 2 at the exit. Okay, discharge means exit or the outlet. So beta 2, we are supposed to take beta 2 here. Discharge angle for blade angle for rotor is beta 2. Beta 2 equals to 20 degrees. Beta 2 equals to 20 degrees. Okay. Now the steam speed that at the exit of fixed blade is the steam speed at the exit of fixed blade. At the exit of fixed blade means V1. So steam speed at the exit of fixed blade, that is V1 equals to 140 meter per second. 140 meter per second. Okay. Now the ratio Vf divided by U is 0.7 at the entry and 0.76 at the exit of the rotor. So at the entry, we know that Vf1 divided by U. Vf1, F1 stands for the flow velocity component at the inlet. Okay, this is the ratio at the inlet, which is given by 0.7, and Vf2 divided by U, it is 0.76. 0.76. It is the exit. It is at the exit. Okay. Find the inlet rotor blade angle. What is to be calculated? To find inlet rotor blade angle. Inlet rotor blade angle is beta 1. So beta 1 is to be calculated. Beta 1. Okay. The power developed by blade ring. Power developed, that is P. Power developed by blade ring, that is P. For the mass flow rate of mass flow rate is given, that is m dot equals to 2.6 kgs per second. 2.6 kgs per seconds. Okay. And the degree of reaction. The last bit is to find out the degree of reaction. In the first bit, the inlet rotor blade angle. In the second bit, the power developed by the blade ring. And the third bit, the degree of reaction R. For the m dot, for the mass flow rate of 2.6 kgs per seconds. Now the first and foremost task is to draw the velocity triangles. So let us try to draw the inlet and outlet velocity triangles. Look at here. So this is the inlet velocity triangle. This is the inlet velocity triangle. This is the velocity V1. V1 stands for absolute velocity at the inlet, which is making an angle alpha 1 with respect to horizontal. This is angle alpha 1. And the V1 is making the three components. V1 is making three components. One is vertical component, second one is horizontal component, and the third one is inclined component with respect to the horizontal. Okay. The first component is vertical component, that is VF1. VF1 stands for flow velocity component, right? And next one is inclined velocity component, that is VR1. VR1 stands for the relative velocity component, which is making an angle beta 1 with respect to horizontal. Okay. Next, the third velocity component is the tangential velocity component, which is given by VU1. VU1 stands for the tangential velocity component, and this vector is U. This vector is U, that is tangential velocity of the blade. So this is the inlet velocity triangle. This is the inlet velocity triangle. Let me write here. This is the inlet velocity triangle. Now, how to draw the outlet velocity triangle? Look here. The corresponding outlet velocity triangle is this, where the principal diagonal is VR2, the relative velocity component at the outlet. This is V2, the absolute velocity at the outlet, V2, and this is VF2, the flow velocity component at the outlet. So be ready with the calculators. We are going to solve this numerical. Okay. So as I said, relative velocity component makes an angle beta with respect to horizontal. Remember, guys, for VR we have angle beta, and for V we have angle alpha. I repeat, for VR we have angle beta, and for V we have the angle alpha. So for VR, so as we are dealing with the outlet velocity triangle beta 2 here, and V2 is alpha 2. For V2 we have alpha 2. The corresponding vectors are, this is the tangential velocity component at the outlet, VU2. VU2 stands for tangential velocity component, and here U as it is, sorry, this is U, the tangential velocity, okay, which remains constant for axial flow turbine. And this vector is VU2, the tangential velocity component at the outlet. Okay. Now here we have to solve this problem systematically. In the first bit, he is asking us to calculate the value of beta 1. Beta 1. Okay. So beta 1 is to be calculated. Now, what things we know? Yeah, we know the value of V1. We know the value of V1, and even we know the value of the alpha 1. So if you know these two values, that is V1 and alpha, we can get the value of VF1 as well as VU1 as well. Okay? Okay. Now let us try to get the value of VF1. Let us take it as a velocity triangle A, B, C, D. This is E, F, G, and H. E, F, G, H. So from the triangle ABD, from the triangle ABD, so we know that sine alpha 1 equals to VF1 divided by V1. So substitute the values. Yes. So V1 is known, alpha 1 is known. So VF1 equals to V1 sine alpha 1. So if you simplify after substituting the values, you will get VF1 as 47.88 meter per second. 47.88 meter per second. 47.88 meter per second. So kindly check the values, all of you. Check the values. Okay. Next. So once you get the value of Vf, once you get the value of Vf, the next step is to get the value of U. Okay, because we know the ratio Vf1 by U is 0.7. So use this relation to get the value of U. So therefore we know that Vf1 divided by U is equals to 0.7, or U equals to Vf1 divided by 0.7, or U equals to, just substitute the values and can get the value of U as 68.4 meter per second. 68.4 meter per second. And of course, it is a constant because we are dealing with the axial flow turbine. U remains constant because we are dealing with axial flow turbines. Okay. Now, similarly, once you get the value of V1 and Vf1, you are supposed to get the value of VU1. VU1. So you can use the sine or cos or tan, whatever it will be. Now you can use a cos, or you can even use a tan as well. So if we use a tan, by this velocity triangle, I can write tan alpha 1 equals to opposite is Vf1 divided by base is Vu1. So tan alpha 1 equals to, from this velocity triangle, tan alpha 1 equals to opposite is Vf1 divided by Vu1. Vf1 divided by Vu1. So do the cross multiplication and get the value of Vu1. The expected value for Vu1 is 131.55 meter per second. 131.55 is meter per second. Okay. So now the first bit is to calculate the value of beta 1. So from this triangle ABC, you know the value of U, you know the value of VU1, you know the value of VF. Okay, let us take BC as X. So X is nothing but VU1 minus U. Okay, so you can use the tan as well here. So from the velocity triangle ABC, tan beta 1 equals to opposite is Vf1 divided by base is X. Okay, so X one. So what is X? X is Vu1 minus U. So beta 1 equals to tan inverse of Vf1 as it is divided by X is Vu1 minus U. So therefore the expected value for beta 1 is 37.2 degrees. 37.2 degrees. Okay, this is the answer for first bit. Next, we need to get the value of the power development. Look here carefully. This is the answer for first bit, and the second bit is we need to get the value of power. Now, power is given as m dot by gc into Vu1 U1 minus Vu2 U2. This we have obtained from the Euler's turbine equation. This is the final form which is obtained by doing the derivation on the Euler's turbine equation. So power P is equals to m dot by Gc. M dot is a mass flow rate. Gc is a constant, some constant whose value is always equals to 1. Gc is always equals to 1 here. So Vu1, U1, and since it is the axial flow turbine, U remains constant. You can take outside the bracket as well. Okay, you can take outside the bracket. U outside the bracket. Since U is constant here. Okay. So you got the value of Vu1. Now you are about to get the value of Vu. Yeah. So how to get the value of Vu here? So beta 2 is known, U is known, beta 2 is known, U is known. So can we get the value of Vf2? Yeah. Can you get the value of Vf2 here? Yes, we can get the value of Vf2. So from outlet velocity triangle, so before using the outlet velocity triangle, so just we know that Vf2 by u equals to Vf2 by u equals to, yeah, this is the ratio Vf2 by u equals to 0.76. So right here 0.76 as it is. So here u is known, Vf2 equals to 0.76 times u, 0.76 times u. Okay, so 0.76 into u. What is the value of u here? U is 68.4. So just multiply and try to get the value of Vf2. The expected value for Vf2 is 51.98. 51.98 meter per second. 51.98 meter per second. So you know the value of Vf2, you know the value of beta 2. Yes, opposite is known, the angle is also known. Okay, we can use the tan. Okay, tan beta 2 equals to opposite divided by base. So from outlet triangle, tan beta 2 equals to, from outlet triangle, tan beta 2 equals to, opposite is Vf2, opposite is Vf2 divided by base is u plus Vu2. Complete base is u plus Vu2. Okay. So you know the value of u, you know the value of Vf2, you know the value of beta 2. Beta 2 is known. Just do the cross multiplication, simplify this. Okay. So take the, yes, do the cross multiplication here. Take the u to the right hand side. You'll get the minus u here. Substitute and get the value of Vu2. So the expected value for Vu2 is, it's your duty to do the substitution and do the calculation. Okay. Vu2 is 74.42. 74.42 meter per second. So we got the value of both the Vu2 as well as Vu1, Vu2, Vu1. Just substitute in this formula, you will get the power P equals to. So therefore, power P equals to m dot is known, that is 2.6. M dot is known, that is 2.6 here, into what is the value of U? U is 68.4. 68.4 divided by GC is always equals to 1. VU1 is 131.55, 131.55, and VU2 is 74.42. The expected value for power P equals to, yes, let's do the calculation. So fine. One more important point. Listen here. So in this formula, I have to take here positive sign. Why we have to take that positive sign? Look here. Analytic consideration shows that the inclined velocity V1 has three components, namely the tangential velocity component, relative velocity component, and flow velocity component. Okay. The horizontal component of V1 is Vu1. V1 is emerging from the point D. This is V1. In horizontal direction, its component is Vu1. So the direction of Vu1 is towards left. The direction of Vu1 is towards left. What about the Vu2? So V2 is nothing but the absolute velocity at the outlet, which is also having the three components, namely the relative velocity component, the tangential velocity component, and the flow velocity component. So here VU2, the direction of VU2 is towards right, because this is the direction of V2 and the horizontal component has a direction towards right. So the direction of VU1 and VU2, they are opposite to each other. I repeat, the direction of VU1 and VU2 are opposite to each other. So that's why we have to take the positive sign here. That is VU1 plus VU2. Okay. So please remember this. So the expected answer for power P is 36.63 kilowatts. 36.63. So if you simplify this, you will get the value in terms of watts. So just divide by 1000, you will get the value in terms of kilowatts. 36.36. This is in kilowatts. When you can divide by 1000, you get the value in terms of kilowatts. Okay, fine. So this is the answer for power produced by the ring, that is 36.63 kilowatts. Now the last bit is to calculate the value of degree of reaction. The last bit is to calculate the value of degree of reaction. So let's try to do it. Okay. You can copy, you can take the screenshot of this. I hope you have copied the things. Okay. Now, how to calculate the value of degree of reaction? That is last bit, third bit, degree of reaction. Degree of reaction, which is represented by capital R. So we know the formula for degree of reaction as R equals to the definition of degree of reaction is it is a ratio of static enthalpy drop in rotor to the total enthalpy drop in rotor. So which is given by U1 square minus U2 square plus VR2 square minus VR1 square divided by V1 square minus V2 square, V1 square minus V2 square plus U1 square minus U2 square plus VR2 square minus VR1 square. VR2 square minus VR1 square. Okay. Since we are dealing with the axial flow turbine, so here U1 and U2 both will vanish and this term will vanishes to 0. So R is equals to, since U1 equals to U2, so therefore VR2 square minus VR1 square divided by V1 square minus V2 square plus VR2 square minus VR1 square. Now it's your duty to get the value of VR1 and VR2. Look here. We know the value of, okay, beta 1 is known, VF1 is known. So from the inlet velocity triangle, use a sign and try to get the value of VR1. Try to get the value of VR1 here. Okay? Or else you can use the Pythagoras theorem as well. Okay? So that is the hypotenuse square, that is VR1 square is equals to VF1 square plus x square. Whatever it is. Okay, from inlet velocity triangle, VR1 square is equals to VF1 square plus the x is nothing but VU1 minus U. VU1 minus U whole square. So substitute all the values, take the square root because we have the VR1 square. So take the square root, you will get the value of VR1 as, let me write here. VR1 equals to, after substitution and simplification, the expected answer for VR1 is 79.24 meter per second. 79.24 meter per second. Similarly, you know the value of U, you know the value of VU2, you know the value of VF2. So use the Pythagoras theorem here as well. VR2 square equals to VF2 square plus U plus VU2 whole square. Okay. So similarly, VR2 square equals to VF2 square plus U plus VU2 square. U plus VU2 whole square. So the expected answer for VR2 as VR2 is equals to 151.96 meter per second. 151.96 This is in meter per second. Okay. So this is the answer for VR. Yeah. In this formula, we are yet to get the value of V2. V2 is unknown here. Okay. So how to get the value of V2 here? V of 2 is known, V of 2 is known. Both are known. Use a Pythagoras theorem. Again, use a Pythagoras theorem. So here V2 square is equals to opposite is Vf2 square plus base is Vu2 square. Vu2 square. So substitute both the values. The expected answer for V2 is 90.78 meter per second. 90.78 meter per second. 90.78 meter per second. Okay. So you got the value of VR1, VR2, V1, V2. Just substitute in this formula, that is degree of reaction. So after substitution and simplification, the expected answer for degree of reaction is 0.5967. 0.5967. Or here I can write R equals to degree of reaction, R equals to. Usually the degree of reaction is represented in terms of percentage. It is represented in terms of percentage. So we'll get 59.67. 59.67. This is of course percentage, which is percent. So this is a value for degree of reaction. Hope you have understood this particular numerical. Kindly practice, watch this video multiple times so that you will get the concept as well. Okay, because I tried to explain each and every term in detail. Okay, so watch this video repeatedly so that you will get the command on the numericals. Okay, because such type of numericals are very important from your examination point of view. Okay, so please don't forget to like the channel, share the channel, and subscribe my channel. So if you have any queries, okay, in this numerical, put your comment in the comment box, or else you can contact on my number. My WhatsApp number is 988 6539 074. 9886539 This is my WhatsApp number. So if you have any queries, you can put your comments on the WhatsApp, or you can put your comments in the chat box. Okay. Thank you and have a nice day.